Hey folks, welcome to my channel, and finally I am here once again. We will be doing vibe coding, sort of vibe coding, not exactly, but yeah, I will try to achieve most of the vibe coding in this tutorial, and we will do it all for Flutter. So I'll teach you like how you should proceed these things, how you should go about all the things. So don't worry about that. But at the same time, I'll tell you that how to use AI tools like Cursor, how to get used to these tools and how you can maximize uh, like their help in creating a project which you want to create. So let's get started. So now, before we proceed, this is my Cursor AI tool. I have nothing over here, to be honest. This is just a like a folder, which is a blank folder. There is nothing inside it. And we are trying to make a finance app. We will make a personal finance app. I don't know what we want to do in that finance app. So that this question again we can ask from AI, right? Like what if AI can help us finding the answers, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chat GPT, and here I'm going to ask that I want to build a personal finance app. Okay, so I'm saying I want to build a personal finance app um, which will be in Flutter. Can you give me what kind of features it should have? Okay, so can you give me what kind of features it should have along with their phase by phase plan of execution? Okay, so this is what I want to do. So let's press enter, and ChatGPT, what it will do, it will try to create a plan for me, right? Where this has certain phases, where it says phase one is MVP, where core features will be sign up, login, biometric authentication, overview of account balances, recent transaction, advanced features and UI enhancement could be there. So this is something which we can start with, right? Again, like we cannot create everything in just 5-10 minutes, but yes, we can get most of the things ready. And I'm not trying to skip anything in this video. So basically whatever you are seeing online right now on YouTube, this is what exactly you will be doing. I'm not cutting anything, I'm not trimming anything. So you can see we have almost sort of like um, 5 points or something like that, or four phases basically. So what I want to ask, can you create a readme for it? So now I'm asking, once it has given me phase by phase execution, I want a readme so that I can directly use it in my project, and maybe it can help me in telling the AI what I'm exactly trying to build, right? So this looks nice. It will take some time, guys. You have to be a little bit patient when it comes to AI because most of the things it is anyway doing. So, okay. Now we have the readme ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going back to Cursor, this application which I'm creating. I'll create a new file called readme.md. Okay, and here I'll just paste it. So this is what I want to do. Now I can set up some Cursor rules. So again, if you don't have any idea about Cursor, you can download Cursor from web. So cursor.com you can open, and you can download it from there. It's a replica of VS Code only. So if you are familiar with VS Code, you should be familiar with Cursor. You can also use Windsurf. It's totally your choice. I personally like both of them actually. Cursor because I think the model consumption is better here. Windsurf, sometimes the quality of code is better there, in my opinion. So now let's do one more thing. We can create a new file. We can call it cursor rules. Okay. So now this cursor rules basically we can copy from somewhere. So I'll go on web, and I will search awesome cursor rules. Okay, and this will give me this website where I can find a lot of cursor rules. So I'll try to see for Flutter. So Flutter expert. I'll just copy this cursor rules and I'll just paste it here. So this is again gonna help the AI to understand. Now, now we are here. So in the chat section, what you see over here, what we can do is we have the agent mode selected. So basically there is a ask mode, agent mode, and edit mode. Ask is basically just asking question and answer like ChatGPT. Agent is where the best thing comes, where you just ask anything and agent tries to do it in terms of coding. It also does the code for you. When it comes to vibe moding, there is something called YOLO mode, which you also activate so that you don't have to accept or give permission to execute any command. It automatically does that. But let's not go with that right now. Let's try to get into it. So this is what we have. So what I'm going to do is we want to execute phase one. So what I'm going to do, create a personal finance app in Flutter for me in the same directory and execute phase one. Okay, this is what I'm writing. This you can see it's a very simple language, like just one liner, and I'll press enter. So now it is generating for me. So it is saying I'll help you create a personal finance app in Flutter focusing on phase one. See, I haven't told it that what is the phase one. Now see this, that it is asking me, do you want me to ask every time when I want to create something over here? So that's where YOLO mode comes into the picture. You don't have to press these command again and again, but just for the simplicity, you can see auto run is YOLO mode. But for the simplicity and so that AI does not do any blunder, so that's why I'm running this directly, and it is running all the dependencies. And now you can see that okay, let me just change the position of it. So you can see that it has given me this finance app, like all the folders are there, and it is writing something in the pubspec.yaml. So by default pubspec.yaml, if you see, this is what you get. You have Cupertino icons, you have minor dependencies, and now what we see is we see state management Flutter block. We also see equitable here, SQF Lite, Firebase Core, Flutter SVGs, and all lot of things. If I go back to my README, I think it is not trying to read the text stack yet, because there we mentioned that for backend we want to use Supabase. I mean, again, I'm not asking it, AI only generated it, but I think it's fine for now, whatever it wants to use. So now I'll run the another command. It is asking me to create more folders. So again, in terms of vibe coding, what do you want? You just want to sit, you want to watch Netflix or relax, and you want AI to do all the job. That's where YOLO mode comes into the picture. But just for the sake of simplicity as of now, just to make sure that we are not doing any blunder, we are running every command manually. But I mean, you got the idea, right? And you see, it was saying that it is failed to update some packages. Then also it understands this problem, and then it's saying let's fix the international dependency issue. So it changed the version from 0.18.1 to 0.19.0. So that is the power of these LLMs right now, that they understand what is wrong as well. And if you see, it has fixed the bug and the exit code is 0. And in this entire video I'm just talking, right, and pressing enter basically just to do the job of YOLO mode. But apart from that, I'm not doing much, and I'm just letting it do something on its own. Again, like as I said, that this is just the start. I mean, it is going to be much bigger with time, but I think once you get idea that what is the right way to use it, then you will probably able to deliver the best product, right? So as you can see, it's still writing a lot of things for me. If I open the lib folder, I can all itself see there is a core folder, constants, themes, utils, widgets. Trust me, I haven't created any of these features. And there is what we see: authentication, again data domain presentation. So you can see it is also trying to follow clean architecture. And why it is happening is because if you remember, we added some cursor rules over here, and it says that you have to follow best practices, you have to give the folders properly, you have to be performant when you write code. So all these things are already mentioned, but it is again very smart to do a lot of the things by itself as well. So we are still waiting what it can do. Basically, as of now, if like try to just think from this perspective that you have a junior engineer who is doing the basic stuff for you, and it's not just basic, but it is a slightly better version of that. I mean, it can do average job for you. But if you try to use Copilot and all those things, and you will feel that okay, these will do most of the job for me, then it is slightly difficult. Why Cursor is better? Because it has more context than compared to GitHub Copilot or anything like that, and it understands the code base better than them. So it does run some indexing initially, and then it has got the idea of your project, right? So now we it's still building, and honestly, whatever time we are spending in this video, I mean, there is nothing wrong, right? I mean, we can do something else. We can, like, right now I'm talking to you, that's why my time is going inside it. But in general, like, if you are just watching something and at the same time building this, I mean, it's a good trade-off to do. Also, one more thing is that this AI tool, you have to remember, if you don't have knowledge of what you are building, for example, right now we are making a Flutter app, right? But if you don't have knowledge of what is a Flutter app, how does it work, you won't be able to do much changes into it, right? And that's where things become complicated, because if you want to do even a minor change, you will rely on AI. And sometimes AI can give you bad responses. It can hallucinate as well. And then for a very smaller task which might need just 1 minute of you, you can spend maybe half an hour, 1 hour, right? Maybe even more time, because you don't know the basic of that thing which you are building. So that is also very crucial to understand. Again, you can see I have given only one command in the beginning, and it's still working. I would have, if let's say, turned on the YOLO mode, then I would not have even pressed enter or run these commands which it asked me to do, right? So as of now, things are looking pretty good. Let's see what else it has created for us. So I can see a core folder, constant folder, theme folder, utils folder, widgets folder where we have created a lot of widgets, and I can see that it has created auth folder, budget folder, dashboard, expenses, reports. Pretty good. Like, I mean, what else you need? And now it is trying to create all these entities which are the models. And honestly, I mean, I'm okay. Like, I mean, I can do something else, right? As I mentioned. One more thing which I would like to say, because you are listening to me, is that don't be totally dependent on AI. You have to create the balance, right? Let's say you want to do some things by yourself, because see, whatever format it is trying to do, that does not mean it is the best format, right? It is doing whatever it has been trained on, right? Or whatever it sees in general in its database, let's say. So that might not be your choice of work, or the way you work, that not might be exactly like that. For example, here when we talked about this application, if we didn't explicitly mention a particular state management, it can use anything, right? It can use, for example, in this case it is using block. In general, it can use provider, maybe something else, right? You don't know, but that might not be something which you would want. Now what it is saying that we default stop the agent after 25 tool calls, so you can resume the conversation. Before I resume anything, let me try and build this app so that we can see that whether things worked or not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press F5. So I'll go to my main.dart. I can see everything over here. Looks pretty good. Oh, this is still a Flutter demo. What the hell? I think it has not yet added the layer where we want to go. So maybe we would want to go. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's try to run. We'll see if it is working or not. So I'm trying to just run this application on the simulator, and if let's say, because I can still see that main.dart just contains this counter application, so that means that it has not completed its work, and we might want to just we can ask it, like, before we proceed, can you add whatever is there in the, let's say, in the main.dart, or we can at least start to see the results. So let's see. Let's try to run. I have already run it in my simulator, which is iPhone 15 Pro Max. Let me bring my simulator over here if possible. Let's see. Okay. 1 second, guys. And I will add it here. Yeah. Okay. Now it is doing pod install. Obviously, it is taking some time in pod install. But once that is done, I think we should be able to see some results. So yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that if you don't have basic understanding, if you don't have personal choices, you have to be very careful of what you are trying to do with AI. Also, when you turn on YOLO mode, remember that it can do some disasters as well. So you have to be very cautious. There is something called MCP, which is Model Context Protocol. That is also something which I would talk about. That's a very interesting thing to like do. And not just Flutter, I will try to make some more projects. So if you're not the subscriber already, please subscribe to the channel. I am just coming up with more videos on it. Okay, now it says that iOS 18.2 is not installed. Okay. I think the problem is basically that, guys, actually I created all the things from scratch, so iOS 18.2 is not installed. That's fine. Let me just try to maybe start in Chrome. Let's try. So now I'm trying to run it in a browser. Again, like, because my iOS setup is not properly done on this machine. This is my separate machine which I am using for these tutorials and all. So you might not see everything here. But now, see, this is running on localhost, and we see the this counter application, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask AI, before we resume, can we see whatever we have done in as a preview? Maybe you can attach things with, and I can use @ and I can give reference to any file. For example, @main.dart, right? And I'll press send. So what it will do, I don't know what I have written, but before we resume, can we see whatever we have done as a preview? So maybe you can attach things with main.dart. So what I'm trying to do is, like, whatever you have created so far, let me see what you are trying to do, and then maybe we can resume with whatever you were trying to do initially. So so what it is saying now, I'll help you see what we have done so far by updating the main.dart file to implement our app structure and show a preview of the finance app. That's cool. I mean, I'm okay with that. Also, I mean, right now I'm running on web, but you can use Android, iOS. It should work on any platform. We'll see more of it anyway, so that's not a problem. So see, it's doing some changes, but if I want to see the change, I'll have to click here, and maybe I can see it happening on the runtime, but I don't think so it will do on the runtime. But yeah, let's see for a while it should do. And the reason this video I am pushing as a whole is because I don't want to cut anything, I don't want to trim anything. So whatever I'm saying, you have to listen to me. You can just go forward a little bit and see what would be the result, but I want to do justice with the platform, with YouTube, with you, that whatever you are saying is happening on runtime. There is no cut, there is nothing like that. So again, it is doing so. whatever time you are saying it is taking, it's in the real world scenario also it is going to take the same time. And now you can see that it had some error in tool calling. That's what it is saying. We can get rid of this. So it is again working on it. I mean, see, it is smart enough to understand when there is some error or there is some issue. So it will always try to, rework on it to see if it can find the solution of it, right? And there is also a button on the bottom if you see accept all. So every time it generates something, you can either accept manually one by one or you can accept all. Also, you can go back and let's say I want to, like, whatever changes it has done recently, I want to revert it. So you can go to any of the previous commands and you can restore the checkpoint. Oh, now we can see some results. So basically, if you see here, once it stops generating, I'll show you that you can restore that checkpoint. That means that you can revert the code like Git, right? In Git, you have versions, right? You have branches, you have some files which you have recently created. So this will be similar to that you can restore to a particular point in the history, which, I mean, you were saying that, oh, like it was good earlier itself, right? I don't want to do these changes. Now I still see some of the problems here, and that's where it is, creating some more files. So basically it did not create all these screens, so now it is trying to create those screens. And yeah, I mean, see the level of work it is doing. My two hands are here. I'm not doing anything. Everything is being done by this AI. And yeah, it's still creating, dude. Like, I mean, please stop. Just finish whatever you are doing. And see, the kind of prompts I have given so far is just basic prompts. If you want to do better, if you want AI to understand better, you have to give even more better prompts. But just for the sake of simplicity, in general, I would have given it even better prompts. But I am assuming that most of the people who are watching this video are new to AI, or let's say are new to LLMs. So they will only start with the basic, like, prompts or basic texts. So that's what I'm also trying to do. And it's now it has created login screen, it has created register screen, and now it is creating a dashboard screen. Probably after that it will also create expense screen and reports screen. But so guys, for some reason I had to cut down some parts of the video, unfortunately, but now here we are again. So now it took me around, let's say, 5 or maybe some more minutes, around 6 minutes, and then it has given me some output where it has created all the screens which I told you that it will create. Now the problem is that I still see some issues over here, like, this app won't run directly. So what I can do, I can go to problems and I can ask it to, like, see there are 58 problems right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna ask it is, we can get rid of this. There are lot of problems in terms of code, bugs, or let's say in terms of compiler issues. Can you fix it? So this part I don't want to cut, because again, this could be happening with many of you as well, that once you will like try to ask AI to write something, it can give you these kind of issues, right? That's pretty common. So now it is saying that, okay, I'll fix the compiler issues in your finance app. Let's address them one by one. So now it is first of all going to login screen. So in login screen, we see two issues. One is related to icons, which is now fixed, I guess. We can get rid of this web app. And I can see the login screen is clean now, right? The second one is register screen. I can see some of the issues. Again, it is related to icons. If you see, most of these are related to icons. So as a Flutter developer, you might fix them yourself, right? Because you know what is the issue. But now, let's say just in case you are not a Flutter developer, you are still trying to do something, you can ask AI to fix it. So now I can see the register screen is also clear. Now it is trying to fix custom app bar, and this has some issues with the passing of elevation and background color in the, I guess, inherited parent. So that is some issue which I can see. What else is the issue? Some other issue I can see, maybe prob with the color, or it is anyway fixing it already. So only one issue is left, which, oh, I think it has fixed that as well. So custom app bar is done. The next one is custom card. Again, it is also done, I guess. So it has fixed that as well. And now what we are left with is app theme. So app theme, what issue is there? Let's see. Not really sure. I can see it right now. There must be some issue. So it's working on it. It will take some time. It will probably fix it. Let's see. I don't see anything. Yeah. So now I can see there are some more files where there is issue. Like in expense pages, there is add transaction screen where I can see some bugs again. This is related to app constants as well. And there is date utils where I can see there is some issue with the date format short and that format full. This is basically related to app constants. So app theme, it has already fixed, or I think it is fixing anyway. And now I see what was the issue. Now see, it is now identifying there is a add transaction screen where it is getting some issues. So I know you all are waiting for the final result which it is going to produce. So we will see that and how good that would be. But I think it should do most of the work. Also, one more thing which I have noticed is that it has some old database. For example, now this with opacity is, let's say, deprecated, right? So it does not know what is the new thing. So basically, it does not have the latest Flutter version data, right? So that could be one of the things. And now it is working on the main.dart to create proper routing. So that is what we were waiting for. And I think we are almost completed. So it says, great, I have fixed all the compiler issues. And now what the issues which I see is probably most of these are gone. I still see some issues with the, oh, okay, it's still under work. So date utils, I think there is couple of issues still left. Okay, let's ask it that, date utils is still not fixed. So can you fix, um, and I can give it reference using @. So now I'm saying, can you fix date utils? Because I think that is left and I can see it in the problems, right? Everything else is just minor warnings, but these are, yeah. It says that, okay, now let's examine the current content of the app constants class, right? So it will just update the app constants class and probably that should solve the problem anyway, right? So app constants, I think, oh, and one more thing is that you can see how smartly, like after this AI work is done, we will just review the code base once to see what it has done good, what it might have done bad. And yeah, now we are solid good, right? Pretty good, looks nice. And it is asking me to run the command to analyze. Basically, after analyzation, it will know if there is more issues left or not, especially those issues which can create problem in running the app. Okay, so what I can do is I can also press accept all so that these file does not show me that warning. We are good. So there are some 33 problems still left, but these are majorly related to with opacity most of the places, because as I said, it does not understand that there is some change over there in the recent Flutter apps. Now let's run it. So guys, to be honest, I haven't touched any piece of code by myself. Okay, I have asked only AI to fix most of the things. Now it's running again in web. If you want, I can run in my phone as well. And now once we open, okay, we have certain issue with app entry points. Let's see if it can be fixed or not. There is always some issue with web, by the way. There is some issue which I see, missing plugin exception with the path provider. So the reason is that it's not able to run in web because we might not have given it idea that we are trying to run it on the web app. So what we can do is, rather than running on web app, we can probably try to run it on maybe um, let's do one thing. We can start the pixel emulator. Let's see if we can start the pixel emulator. We can try over there, or maybe I can connect my iPhone if it can do that job there. So let's just wait for a few minutes, and I think we have the Pixel 8 Pro emulator setup, so we can run it over there. It's launching, and let's see if we can Windows. Okay, we have this emulator here. So now what I'm going to do, I am going to select that, and I am going to run it again. So this time what we are doing, we are running it on the Android emulator, because on web I see there are some issues. So after some good amount of time, finally I was able to run this application, as you can see over here. And let me do a hot restart just to show you. So this is how it looks like. It has a good splash screen, and now you see a very good card with some income, with some expenses. I mean, I am very much convinced that this looks very nice. Like you can see recent transaction. There are a lot of other tabs as well. We can see the tabs, but these are probably not functioning as of now. But it has tried to do a lot of good setup, to be very honest. And that's what I'm going to do now. That what I can do is I will show you the code base once, whether the code base is good or not. We can go back to home screen. My Android build is still running. It is taking time because of my machine is not responding very well to it. So I mean, overall, if you see, the structure is pretty good. In the main.dart we can see that we have some common welcome back John Doe, something like that, which we see over here. So that is the home tab which it has created. It has created all the tabs. If we look at the folders, it is trying to maintain that, clean architecture. And overall, if you see, this is a pretty good, like, I mean, this is a pretty good way of writing code. I won't say it's perfect, but it is not bad either. I mean, it's a good to start with, and it's a very good thing to do. So, when we are here, guys, so obviously, I hope you enjoyed this video so far. If you did, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will be bringing a lot of videos like this in next future. Let me know what do you want in the comments, and also share with your friends. And yeah, thank you. Keep coding, do vibe coding, whatever you do, but create something good. Thanks for watching. See you next time.